Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Sugar Mama's Fire Play podcast. I am financial planner Canna Campbell. This morning's podcast, I'm actually doing live. I got up really early in the morning to be able to share the excitement and also, I guess, the nervousness of doing Frugal February. I'm actually recording off my phone. I have invested, you'll be pleased to hear, everyone, in a Rodecaster, which is a high quality mic and recording system. Now, whilst I'm not using this at the moment, I'm using my phone, please know that my audio is going to dramatically improve on my podcast, but I'd love your feedback on listening to my audio and knowing if it's getting any better, because it's one area that I struggle with, especially as I have audio perception. All right. Frugal February is back, guys. My love-hate relationship with this. Okay, Frugal February is a fun financial challenge that I started 7 years ago on my YouTube channel. It is essentially where I am intentionally frugal, you could say. I go on a financial fast for the month of February. I basically stop spending money as much as I possibly can. Wherever I can catch myself from being, I guess, mindless or wasteful with money, I catch myself in the act, and that money that I was about to spend, I proactively transfer into a separate savings account, which is my $1,000 project account. And it's an incredible eye-opening financial challenge. It gives definitely a new dimension to my life. The reason why I have a love-hate relationship with this challenge is I feel like I've found a happy place within the way that I spend money. I have a budget. I'm pretty good at sticking to it. There's flexibility to change things up when I need to, but I don't believe I'm wasteful. So that's why I kind of get frustrated at doing this, because I'm like, I've already cut back as much as I'm prepared to cut back. Why am I doing this? But I do, because it's a good thing to do, because it also makes me realize how old habits die hard. And I can very easily tell myself that I'm being frugal and I don't waste money. But in fact, when I do Frugal February, it catches me out. It makes me realize actually there are more things I can do to save money. Actually, there are things that I'm spending my budget that I think I really value that actually I don't really value. It makes me realize that how lucky I am to have a budget and how lucky I am to have an income to I guess, fund my lifestyle. And I mean, and that's not to say that I have this amazingly high income with this extravagant, budget that allows absolutely everything and anything. That's not the case at all. But it's the thing about the Frugal February is it's, as I said, it gives you a new dimension to life. It's incredibly grounding. It re-anchors your financial journey because it gives you a new, I guess, sunlight and shining on the truth of how you spend money. There is something incredibly pure about doing Frugal February. There is pureness in the simplicity. Because you stop spending money on wasteful things, you have so much more time back. You actually have so much more energy back. And you have this newfound simplicity of life, which is quite profound. As I said, you also become, very grateful for the fruitfulness in your life. Whenever I get towards the end of Frugal February, I'm quite exhausted. So I appreciate my budget and my cash flow so much more. I appreciate, the tough times and the good times so much more. And I find new ways of saving money and cutting back expenses from Frugal February. And they're new ideas that are forced upon me because I'm doing Frugal February. Another funny habit, or I guess benefit that comes from Frugal February is I always end up losing a little bit of weight. Now, Frugal February is definitely not a weight loss plan. However, that quite often seems to be one of the benefits that comes from doing Frugal February, because I cut back my snacking. And also talking about cutting back and losing weight I tend up being also healthy, because Frugal February is off the back of Christmas and New Year's, where we tend to overindulge quite often in lots of delicious food and snacks and going to parties and drinking champagne and maybe drinking, having an extra glass than what we normally would. So with Frugal February, whilst I don't give up alcohol, I definitely cut back. And because I'm cutting back on restaurants, I'm cutting back on, I guess expensive activities. It kind of goes in hand with alcohol consumption. And for the record, I'm not actually a big drinker, but this is just one of the many benefits that come from doing Frugal February. Now, for me, at the end of the month, I look at how much money I've saved by doing Frugal February. And whatever I have done goes into the $1,000 project to buy more shares. I would love to, my goal for this Frugal February is to buy $1,000 of the shares. I've had various, financial accomplishments from doing Frugal February. And because I feel like every time I've done Frugal February, I've become more frugal. I don't know if I'll hit the $1,000, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Now, the reason why I'm sharing with you Frugal February is because I would love it if you would join me to do this fun financial challenge this year. Doing Frugal February is a brilliant catalyst for change in your life. It is a great way to start your financial journey for 2022. I saw a brilliant quote on, I think it's Madeline with Money, and I'll go and share this on my Instagram account so everyone can see, but she shared how her year begins in February, not January, but February. That's where she starts all her financial planning goals, and I imagine also probably her personal goals as well. And the reason why, she says, is because she's too exhausted in January to do anything. And I really resonated with this because I'm the same. Christmas time is a mad rush, trying to catch up with everyone, organize gifts for everyone, get them gift wrapped, send them off to everyone, being there everywhere, pleasing everyone. And I'm quite depleted by the end of December. And then there's, January, which is still, celebrating the new year and, starting to think about your goals. So I really resonated with this, and that's probably one of the reasons why Frugal February is such a great, springboard to start your financial journey. Now, if you are interested in doing Frugal February, or even if you're just a little bit curious, these are the steps that I recommend you follow to make sure that you get the most out of Frugal February. All right. So number one is to open up a separate dedicated savings account with no money in it. Now, I use a $1,000 project account, which I will clear today to make sure it has an account balance of zero. I recommend it be an online savings account that's linked to your everyday savings account. The reason why is I want you to be able to instantly transfer money into that account and it immediately be there, so you can quickly see it add up. Also, the reason why it needs to be a separate dedicated savings account is I want you to see what all your sacrifices are doing for your financial situation. I want you to see how $5 there, $10 there, $23 there throughout the 31 days of February really do add up. And I want you to get excited because progress fuels success. As you're going through the month and you see, oh gosh, I'm already hit at $100 or $200, that's going to inspire you to keep going. It's going to help get you through the tough times. And the great thing about transferring it on the spot, it's instant gratification. You get to feel proud seeing that money quickly add up. And I can't stress how important it is to make sure you proactively transfer, because if you don't, by you saving money by not going and buying a coffee this morning or taking your lunch to work, you'll go and spend your money on something else. Those savings will evaporate and you won't see the true benefit and joy of doing Frugal February. So please make sure you have a separate dedicated savings account, ideally linked to your everyday account. For example, and this is not product advice, so please don't go and open up a bank account with this bank, but all our accounts are with Macquarie Bank. So my everyday savings account, which I use for my normal spending account, is my account, and that's where I have my ATM debit card. I then have a separate $1,000 project account, which is where I will be transferring every frugal saving I find. The second step is to have one goal only. As I said, guys, Frugal February is about living a life of simplicity and purity. So let's just keep the goal as one goal. And I will give you a list of ideas if you're stumped for ideas, but you could be to see how much you can save up to then transfer to your credit card debt. You could use this to see how much you save up during the month of February to transfer towards your home deposit, or maybe it kickstarts your home deposit savings. It might be money that you save up to put towards a holiday, a family holiday or a holiday simply for yourself. Maybe it's a weekend away. Maybe it's a mumcation where you go and check into a hotel, which I'm seeing is a very popular trend on social media, which I think is a brilliant trend because I know how exhausting it is being a mother. It might be something you're saving up for a luxurious purchase. Maybe it's a new handbag, a new pair of shoes, a new wallet, a new dress for a special occasion that you've got coming up. It might be money that you're saving up because you're having a baby or trying to have a baby. It might be something that you don't really know, but you just want to see how much you can rein it in, and then you want to plan or spend that money on yourself at the end of the month. I just want you to have one goal, though. Just keep it simple. For me, it's going to be more shares, and that's what makes me feel excited about $1,000 project. Last year, I didn't really do as much as I'd like to. I still had a great year of doing the $1,000 project, but I had a baby and I stuffed up my finances with being ripped off on Gumtree and stuffing up our private health insurance where I had to pay full rate in a private hospital. So I didn't do as much as I would have liked to, and then I had to recover those losses to make up the damage I did to our finances. So I disappointed myself a little bit, but I still did well. But the Frugal February will be a great way of making up for any damage I previously did. The third step is all about mindset and SNAP support solutions. Sorry, that was a bit of a tongue twister there for me early in the morning. So doing Frugal February, you've got to go in with an excited mindset. You've got to be open to saving money. You've got to be positive. You've got to talk about Frugal February in the present moment and in a happy, fun, enjoyable way. Otherwise, you will resent Frugal February and you will snap. You will have a blowout. You'll get 2/3 of the way into Frugal February, and this is something I've personally challenged with, and I'll rebel. I'll be like, stuff this. I'm sick of making coffee in the very morning, doing the same thing every day and making my own lunch. Stuff it. I'm going to splurge. And you can sometimes splurge and rebel and undo all the great work that you've been doing throughout the month of Frugal February. So this is really important that you invest time building up your mindset. And we've got a couple of days before Frugal February begins. If you start a few days late, that's also perfectly fine. But build up a great mindset. So talk about Frugal February in a positive way, in a kind way, in a respectful way, in a way where you're appreciative and grateful for the money that it's going to bring into your life and the new habits it's going to give you and the new awareness it's going to give you and the simplicity and the time and the energy that it's going to give back to your life. And talk about it in a present way. So don't say to yourself, I'm going to do Frugal February. No way. I'm doing Frugal February. I'm preparing for Frugal February. I'm excited about Frugal February. I'm bringing new ways of appreciating, respecting the flow of money into Frugal February. I'm going to enjoy seeing the old habits go away for good. I'm going to enjoy transferring that money into my separate dedicated savings account with so much pleasure and pride. And honestly, Frugal February, when you do it right way, with the right mindset, it becomes euphoric. And I'm going to be supporting you all the way on Instagram through my reels and through my Instagram stories to help you particularly around this, because this is where you need the most amount of support, because you may be going aggressively with Frugal February so therefore you need that, as I said, that SNAP support or SNAP solution support, so that when you have that moment, you're like, stuff it, I'm going to buy that dress, or I'm going to buy those shoes, or I'm going to go to that restaurant with my friends. You have something in place that goes, this is where I need the support solution. And that might be something like, okay, well, I'm going to have friends over for dinner tonight instead of go to an expensive restaurant. Or I'm going to invite my friends to go and do a picnic instead of go to a bar and have drinks. Or I'm going to turn off my computer, stop looking at my favorite dress shop online, and go and have a hot bath, or go and light a candle and meditate. Or instead of going and getting a facial at my beauty salon, I'm going to give myself a home facial. Or I'm going to go for a run or call a friend. I want you to have a list of solutions in place that are your go-to for those moments when you feel like snapping and rebelling and undoing all your hard work. And I'll be sharing with you guys when I hit those moments and what I do. I'm going to share with you the warts and all of Frugal February. Step 4 is to list all the things that you can do to be frugal, so that you are organized, prepared, and in control, and you are proactively saving money. Because one of the things with Frugal February is it makes your savings so much bigger and better and easier when you know what you're going to do to save money. So, for example, doing food prep, making sure that making sure that your fridge is stocked full of foods that you can take to lunch, planning your week out so that you know exactly what nights you need, what you're going to have for dinner, particularly around those nights where you know you're going to be working back late or you're going to the gym, and those are the nights where you attempt to get home delivery or takeaway. Things like making sure that you've got, coffees, making sure that you're unsubscribed from your mailing newsletters where you get tempted to go onto your favorite store online because they have a 20% savings. Making sure that you've got all the luxuries and comforts around you at home so that you want to spend more time at home. Because I'll tell you one thing with Frugal February, I spend a lot more time at home and it's incredibly soulful. And I will admit that is something we don't want to be hearing after coming out of lockdown, but it is truthful. And I'm going to share something with you. I'm actually quite anxious coming out of lockdown. I'm struggling to catch up with people in a group environment, not because I'm worried about catching COVID. It's because I guess I've almost got like a social anxiety from coming out of lockdown. I'm happy to catch up with my friends one-on-one and even a group of 5, but I'm finding I don't want to catch up with anyone in group situations more than that. So I will be using, I guess, Frugal February to slowly ease my way back into society. And I know I do sound like a social hermit, but this is the truth. And I always like to be transparent on all of my content, which I create for you, particularly around mental health. Step number 5 is, and I can't stress this enough, transfer on the spot. You make that coffee at home when you'd normally go out and spend $4.50 or $5.50 or $6, which I spent the other day on a almond milk cappuccino, a strong almond milk cappuccino. I almost died when I realized how much they were charging. Transfer that money on the spot. Pull out your phone and transfer it and write down what it is. Write down coffee savings or taking lunch to work savings. Because I want you to, when you look back at your account each night or at the end of the month, I want you to see where the most amount of savings came from. This is really important. So please, please, please transfer on the spot. So they're the 5 steps I recommend you follow. But I'm going to add in an extra 2, which are optional, but I highly, highly, highly recommend that you do this. And that is to look at each account every night. So step 6 is when you go to bed at night, look at your account each night. That is your Frugal February account, and see what is adding up. And that's why naming each saving will really help you, because you can see, wow, I didn't realize how much money I spend during the week on taking my lunch to work, or I've gone for a run instead of gone to the gym this week. And you might even be able to put your gym membership on hold. And I'm not saying to not do exercise. That's the last thing I'm saying. I'm saying you might find exercising through YouTube tutorials for the month might be a good substitute if your gym membership is, say, $80 a month. Or you might find, okay, well, I'm going to go for a run instead of using my gym membership this month. Or I might go and do yoga in the park with a friend instead of going to 3 yoga classes this week. You don't need to cut it out completely. You just need to maybe cut it down. So as I said, if you go to yoga, say 4 times a week, you might decide, okay, well, I'm going to do it 3 times a week or 2 times. I want you to really see where all these savings add up and enjoy living a life of less stuff and less busyness in order to create more savings and more financial abundance in your life. And then the 7th step that I recommend, but it's optional, and that is to share your experience and what you're doing with others, because you will inspire others, but you will also give other people who are doing Frugal February great ideas and solutions for their life. And not just for Frugal February, ones that potentially they'll be able to use and incorporate for the rest of their lives to give them more savings and more financial abundance in their lives. So in order to help share your activities, I'm going to help make this happen. So every time you do something to save money, and I'm doing this myself, please make sure you tag at Sugar Mama and hashtag Frugal February. I will then go on and save and share what you're doing with my community. And I've got about 54,000 people following me. So by you doing something that's frugal, share it with me, tag me. That's so important. I won't see it unless you tag at Sugar Mama TV. I will then go and share it. And you will definitely be inspiring myself as I go through Frugal February. All right, so I'm going to be sharing, as I said, on my own social media account at Sugar Mama TV, what I'm doing. I'm going to be sharing with you ideas to save money. I'm going to be sharing with you as much inspiration. I'm going to be sharing with you recipes. And I'm going to be sharing with you the frustrating moments where I get flat and annoyed and angry at Frugal February, because that's a normal, natural emotion that I normally experience. But I'll also be sharing with you the breakthrough, the awareness, the personal growth. And this is the biggest ticket for me. This is what I love for Frugal February. The dimension that it adds to my life is really quite beautiful. And as I said, that pureness that comes from simplicity is mind-blowing. I'll be sharing with you how I'm saving money with my family. Apple has learnt about Kmart. She loves to go to Kmart. She goes, it's okay, we just buy a new one if something breaks. I'm like, no, we can't do that. So I'm going to be sharing with you how I'm teaching my children to save money. I'm going to be teaching you how I'm going to be looking after myself from a self-care perspective to save money. So I really want you to share with me and join in the experience. Now, I'm going to have a little caveat in my Frugal February. Now, if you've ever watched my videos around how we do money in our family, you will know that we have 3 key accounts between us. We have our everyday savings account. Sorry, let me explain that again. We have our family account. So this is where all our family savings come from. So our groceries, our gas bill, our electricity, our home and contents insurance, our council rates, the pet insurance, kids' clothes. That all comes out of the family account. I have a budget amount for each one, and then Tom has his own personal account. So if Tom wants to go to the driving range, it comes out of that. If he wants to go to the pub with his friends, money comes out of that. I have my own personal account. So if I want to get a massage, it comes out of that. If I want to go to my Pilates or to go to see my personal trainer, that comes out of that. So this is how we do money in a harmonious way in our relationship. So I don't get angry if Tom goes out and, buys 10,000 rounds of drinks for the boys, and he doesn't get angry at me if I go and buy a pair of shoes. It's our financial boundary. So the caveat here is whenever I save money off the family accounts, yes, I will be transferring that to the $1,000 project. So say I do some amazingly frugal grocery shopping, and for the record, we budget $300 per week on grocery shopping. Say I manage to get it down to say $250. That $50 savings, I will put that towards a $1,000 project for Frugal February, but I'm going to be careful as to whether I use that to buy more shares. The reason why is I'm questioning that is I don't want the family money to be going towards a $1,000 project. I'd rather keep the family money for the family. However, for myself, say for example, I would normally get a monthly budget, I'd get a monthly massage, and I forego that. I will put that $75 savings towards Frugal February. Or say, for example, I would go and paint my toes at the beginning of each month and maybe get a wax or do my eyebrows, and I'd save, say, $80 in total for that. I will put that towards the $1,000 project, Frugal February savings. So what I'm trying to say is money has savings that have come from doing Frugal February from the family account. I'm going to be just very mindful of that and see what it adds up to. And I'm not 100% sure whether I'll put that towards more shares. I may give that to my family for a weekend away or something nice, because I don't want to be robbing my family account for Frugal February to then financially benefit myself. The other little caveat that I want to add in is on the topic of massages. Because I used my Klarna account or app to prepay 10 massages, which I've already paid for off. And I did this just after lockdown finished as a way of supporting my local community. And I used Klarna, which is where you basically buy something and pay it off in 6 weekly installments over a fortnightly repayment. So it basically is a way of like giving my masseuse upfront payment for 10 sessions, so $750 upfront. I've completely paid that off. So I will actually be able to get a massage for February because I've already paid it. And because it's already factored into my budget, I'll be able to actually put that $75 of savings into my Frugal February account. The other big expense that hits me in February is it's my best friend's birthday. And this year is her 40th birthday. So she's having a weekend away, and kids are not invited. So I've already prepaid the babysitter who's going to be looking after my three children whilst I'm away for the weekend. And I've already bought her birthday present, and I've already prepaid our accommodation. And to try and save as much money on the babysitting expense, because you can imagine for 3 children at a weekend, a night away, it's expensive. We're going to leave at the latest time possible and get back early in the morning so that this expense doesn't blow out. But I'm sharing with you that I've already prepaid that expense. So I hope you're all ready to do Frugal February. There may only, disclaimers or caveats in Frugal February. I am ready to save money. I'm ready to find new ways of saving money. I'm ready to catch out the old habits that have died hard. I am ready to see all these little savings quickly and easily add up. I'm going to get excited every time I transfer money. I'm going to talk about Frugal February in a positive, respectful, kind, self-love, self-caring way, because I know I will get exhausted, but I need to make hay whilst the sun shines and be excited. And I'm ready to let this new dimension that Frugal February always brings into my life take my journey of personal growth to a new level. I'm ready to embrace mindfulness. And for the record, I will be doing Manifesting March. And this is where I get really excited and life hits a new level with newfound abundance and awakening and miracles. And I will also be doing a new fun challenge, which I'll be sharing with you shortly, around April. So please join in with me for this incredible challenge where people literally around the world do this. And as I said, please tag me at Sugar Mama TV and hashtag Frugal February, because I will be sharing absolutely everything and anything that you're doing. And it might seem silly, you might be embarrassed, you might be like cringing about what you're doing to save money, but I promise you, you're going to inspire and motivate others, and they're going to pick up your habits and they're going to try it for themselves. And you never know what movement you are going to begin to start. And I promise you, I'll be giving everything you're doing a go as well. So thank you everyone for listening to this morning's podcast. It is live and I'm so excited to share this with you. All right, everyone, good luck and see you on the Instagram community.